Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I have to say, for one, I am very grateful to be here with all of you. My name is Rabbi Alyssa Platkow, and I am joined by Cantor Isaac Sonnet Asor. You know, this week's Parsha, Toldot, opens with Abraham, the Jewish patriarch, remarrying after his wife Sarah's death someone very, very, very far outside the tribe. Then his grandchild, Jacob, successfully manipulates his brother Esau into giving him his birthright in exchange for a bowl of red lentil soup. And then, kind of a strange bargaining chip. And then, as if it couldn't get any worse, Jacob's mom, Rebekah, encourages him to deceive his father, her husband, by dressing up as Esau and saying that he is Esau to his blind father in order to receive the blessing of the firstborn. And of course, all of this ends in yelling and crying. Family conflict after family conflict. What a perfect pairing with Thanksgiving. Perhaps looking around our tables and our world, it might actually be challenging to be grateful. Maybe it feels like you can't see eye to eye with anyone at your Thanksgiving table. Perhaps you have vastly different political beliefs when it comes to Israel. Perhaps you believe that someone else should have won the last election. Maybe you're scared or nervous for what the future holds. And yet tonight, we also celebrate the Jewish Ethiopian holiday of Sigd, a day that commemorates us not receiving the Torah in which God gives us something, but accepting the Torah wholeheartedly. When you look around your Thanksgiving table, it might not be so easy to receive what your family member is dishing out, even if it smells really good. But if you're able to find that divine light in their arms, if you're able to see that godly spark in their eyes, perhaps you'll be able to accept them and anyone for who they are as a human being at the center. And then maybe we can all feel at least a little piece of gratitude.
Amen. So as the sun sets this evening, this actually is when Sigd falls on the Jewish calendar. It's actually one holiday that falls in the month of Cheshvan, which is famously a month that has no other Jewish holidays. This is a festival of reconciliation and of reflection on each of our relationship with our family, with our extended Jewish family, and a chance to rededicate ourselves to our community. And in fact, many in the Ethiopian Jewish community invite the entire Jewish family to take part in this festival. And I think with these themes of reconciliation and of rededication to our community, it's actually a perfect spiritual counterpart to the American Festival of Thanksgiving. And so we'll ask this evening, what if we were to accept this beautiful invitation? And what would happen if we took on this holiday not as a practice outside of our community, but one that is very much part of this corner of the Jewish family, connecting ourselves to our Ethiopian brethren and our Jewish siblings all around the world? Just want to take a moment as well to introduce our band. We are so fortunate to be uplifted this evening by Pete Mallenverney, our musical leader and conductor and pianist, by Idan Sandhaus on flute, by Jerome Morris on percussion, and welcoming to the pit our very own Rachel Haber. We're so delighted that you are sitting in to play with us this evening. We are so excited to find out that you would be here, and what a treat it is to have you in this ensemble. We are, of course, so fortunate to be joined on the bima by our temple president, Warren Haber. And as a moment of celebrating our connection to our family wherever we are, we'd love to invite up Michaela Goldoff, who will become bat mitzvah tomorrow evening. And so we'll invite you up with your parents, with David and Beth, as we kindle these lights for a Shabbat. Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And let us say Amen. Thank you, Michaela, for giving us all so much more to be grateful for in this festival of Thanksgiving. And can't wait, both Rabbi Plaka and myself, to get to celebrate with you tomorrow evening. My friends, we'll turn to page 140 with a psalm of thanksgiving. Tov lehodot ladonai, how good it is to give thanks to the source of all blessing.
Is on page 138. Traditional Sieg liturgy. Come, let us bow and give thanks to the Holy One. Come, let us bow, pray, sing, and bless. Let us sanctify our parent, creator of heaven and earth. Come, let us bow, praise, sing, bless, and sanctify, and let us take heart and cling to our parent, creator of heaven and earth.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam vaed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam vaed. Please be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro mariv aravim b'chokhma poteach she'arim.
Hail, hail, bless the one, sun and moon, God of might, ruler of all praise. You made them, the sun and the moon, in one voice, in one act. Hail, hail, bless the one, all the stars of heaven. God of might, ruler of all praise. The stars of heaven laud you, in their cycles singing, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzivaot, holy, holy, holy. You are good. You are God of all creation.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro atah Adonai Amari Aravi. Page 152. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam vaed ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha Hayom al levavecha, veshinantam levanecha, vedibarta bam, veshivtecha bebeitecha, uvlechtecha baderech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam lehot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot beinenecha. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. This is a poem by the Ethiopian-Israeli poet Danny Adamsu about the journey by foot through the desert from Ethiopia all the way to the land of Israel. No right, no left, straight, just north, walking and walking, marching brotherhood, districts, villages, and families. There are no days, only nights. Eat a little, strong spirit. We are walking. The water is gone, and the food is gone. Desert, the earth is hot, determined to arrive. There is power, which comes from the Spirit. We sing on page 158 this melody for the festival as we imagine that walk through the desert. There is power which comes from the Spirit. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha. Mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, mi chamocha. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha. Mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, mi chamocha. Nora tehilot osei vele, nora tehilot osei vele, nora tehilot osei vele, nora tehilot osei vele. Everybody now. La 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 la. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la la. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la la la. Ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la. At this point, I'll invite up Casey, and perhaps he'll bring his parents with him to receive a special blessing. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. You can stand right here. Right where you are is perfect. It's perfect. So, as we heard in this week's Torah portion, our ancestor Isaac gives two blessings to his son Jacob. And it's a little unclear if the first blessing was really intended for Jacob's older brother Esau, as once again Jacob, through deception, dresses up in Esau's hairy clothing in order to deceive his ailing father. Though many rabbis actually believe that Isaac knew exactly who it was that he was blessing. What we do know for sure, there's a second blessing, a lesser-known blessing, which Isaac gives, and it's known beyond a shadow of a doubt that this blessing was intended for no one other than Jacob. Sweet Casey Clark, you have my word and your parents' word that this blessing is entirely for you. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, our God and God of our ancestors, we join together now in thanking you for the gift of this precious child and the blessing of this sacred moment. We rejoice with Danny's dad, Jeff, and bonus mom, Gail, with Casey's aunt and uncles, Stephanie, Zenovi, and Eric, and his cousins, Max and Benji, and Isabel. We are joined from afar by Ben's dad, Clark, and mom, Kathy, by Casey's uncles and aunts, Jonathan, Sarah, David, and Laura, and his cousins, Lily, Chase, and Leo Jude. And if you would like, you can give a little wave over the live stream to everybody joining us from the West Coast. Named after his grandma Shelley and his grandfather Clark, he now receives the Hebrew name of Shalev, which means quiet, calm, and peaceful. With this name, he also becomes the living legacy to Grandma Shelley's Hebrew name, Shulamis, the passionate and free-spirited hero of the biblical Song of Songs. This is the embodiment of the word shalom, of peace and wholeness. Like his grandma, may he grow to be a colorful, free spirit. May he be creative and silly and playful. May he know peace and calm within himself, and may he bring peace to others. And like his grandpa, may he stay full of life and energy. May he love to help and connect with people, and may he keep his love of play, and may he see all of life as an adventure. May he stay forever young. As he approaches his first birthday, his name already suits him. He is constantly on the move, yet he loves to sit still and just look around. He always wants someone in the playpen with him, and he has a natural sense of humor. As in this very moment, may his name, Shalev, forever be both description and aspiration. And when life challenges him, may his family's love help him to remember exactly who he is. Eternal One, we pray, Ufros alav sukat shlomecha, envelop him in the shelter of your peace, just as we enfold him in this precious garment, handmade by his grandma Shelley, who sends him light. Be with him always, guiding and supporting him throughout his life. And may his parents, with wisdom and with patience, lead him to a life filled with Torah, a lifelong commitment to learning and personal growth, to chuppah, the sustenance of loving relationships, and masim tovim, the pursuit of good deeds. And together we say, Amen. We bless you with this song by Bob Dylan, inspired by God's promise to Jacob, revealed to him in the dream of a ladder stretching to the heavens. May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung. May you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of changes shift. May your heart always be joyful, and may your song always be sung. May you stay forever young. this beautiful cup from your parents, from Ben and Danny's wedding. And we'll now get to link that beautiful moment with this moment of you receiving your name, Mazel Tov. We continue on page 164. You're invited to rise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imaot, Umevi Geula Lifnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Abraham Bezrat Sarah, Ata Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol Ata Rab Leoshia, Mashiv Haruach Umorit HaGashem, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Nofelim Berofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Micha Mocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Benemanata leachayot hakol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayei Hakol. Ata Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kdoshim bechol yom Yehalelucha Selah. Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We now continue with silent prayer, standing or seated according to your custom. There are, of course, the words of our Siddur in Hebrew and in English, and then there are the words of our hearts. Now is the time to get in touch with that divine light inside of each of us.
Page 176. For all these things, let your name forever be praised and blessed. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Ve'al kulam, yitbarach ve'yitromam, yitbarach ve'yitromam, shimcha malkeinu tamid leolam va'ed. Ve'al kulam, yitbarach ve'yitromam, yitbarach ve'yitromam, shimcha malkeinu tamid leolam va'ed. V'chol ha'chaim yodu chasela,
v'ya'alelu et shimcha
be'emet,
ha'el Yeshuateinu ve'ezrateinu, ezrateinu selah.
Baruch atah Adonai, atov shimcha, atov shimcha, ulecha na'eh lehodot.
At this moment, friends, we are going to be graced by some wonderful Torah from our rabbinic intern, Micah Glickman. I'll look forward to discussing it with you at the Oneg.
So just really quickly before I begin, I want to share what an honor and what a privilege it is to be able to give this Devar Torah in front of my rabbi and in front of my father. It means a lot. V'ele toldot Yitzchak. This is the story of Isaac, son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac. Isaac was 40 years old when he took as his wife Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel the Aramean of Padan Aram, the sister of Laban the Aramean. Isaac pleaded with God on behalf of his wife because she was infertile, and God responded to his plea, and his wife Rebekah conceived. But the children struggled in her womb, and she said, Im Cain, lama ze anochi? If so, why do I exist? So she went to inquire of God, and God answered her, 2 nations are in your womb, 2 separate peoples shall issue from your body. 1 people shall be mightier than the other, and the older shall serve the younger. Conflict is stewing within the womb of the matriarch. She knows this struggle intimately. She can feel it in her body, and she has not told her husband. She can't. Because he's been expecting, he's been waiting, he's been pleading with God for the perfect child, and finally, she is pregnant, and with twins. No, this struggle will be her issue. This struggle will be her legacy. It has to be. After all, he never saw things the way that she did. He could never understand. So, with 2 children nearing term, she is lonely, consumed by her thoughts. How could this be, she asks. What does this mean? Why is it so? God, the burden is too heavy for any one person to bear by themselves. And from the depths of her being, Rebekah asks aloud, expecting an answer from above. Im Cain, Lama ze anochi? If so, why do I exist? Confounded by her own act of creation, she communes with her Creator, conferring her grief and anxiety to the only one who might comprehend it. Only God could understand this most human question. Im kain lama ze anochi? If so, why do I exist? And God does answer her with a certain pragmatism, one that validates that unnerving feeling in her gut, that verifies what she already knew, as if to say, yes, this is so. Yes, conflict will come. Shouldn't it be a blessing to know what the future holds? Isn't it a blessing to know that you are right? Is it a blessing to know that hardship is on the horizon? What does it mean to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that your own family will become separated? God, it must be a blessing, and it has to be. After all, only a few verses later, God will tell Isaac, all the nations of the earth shall bless themselves by your offspring. Everyone will be blessed through his children, through the ones who struggle with each other, through the ones who have stewed in conflict. Only Isaac doesn't know about this struggle. She never tells him. And Rebekah doesn't know about this blessing. He never tells her. God, what a privilege it is to know. This is the story of mistrust, deception, and favoritism, the issue of issues of a broken home. And it begins before the beginning. It begins before the children are even born. His eyes will dim, but neither parent can see the havoc that they have caused already, both of them long blinded by their bigotry. This is the story of an Im Kain, of an if so, of characters constantly confronting disappointment and being blessed nonetheless, that in spite of their circumstance, or perhaps precisely because of it, this family issues forth a paradigm of pragmatism that becomes the blessing to all the peoples of the earth. And what a blessing it is. Rashi, the medieval French commentator, says, Adam omer livno, that a parent will say to their child, Yehe zaracha kezaro shel Yitzchak, may your offspring be as the offspring of Isaac. I am captivated by this blessing. Isn't its theme familiar? The blessing of conflict and struggle. Jacob will soon become Israel, the God wrestler, a blessing he commands from his opponent after struggling and wrestling with conflicts of his own. Israel is a moniker we might know all too well ourselves. To wrestle with God is what it means to be as the offspring of Jacob, to be B'nai Yisrael. But to be B'nai Yitzchak, as the offspring of Isaac, is not to experience a conflict alone within one's soul. Rather, it is to experience enmity towards someone else, someone close, perhaps even a brother, to be born in the promise of separation, to bear the weight of opposition, to know the visceral feeling of polarization, how one struggles and bristles against the other, and to stew in it all. It can feel more of a punishment than a blessing, doesn't it? And yes, the twins will eventually reconcile with one another, hugging after the many years. But right now, even after the birth, the pangs are too intense. Right now, no one can envision that future. Right now, everyone is to blame. And right in that moment, we are told of the blessing that the parents of all people will graciously bestow upon their beloved children. It's the only one they can really offer. The promise of the practical, of what is so. This is the blessing for the children of Isaac, the promise of a baffling and extraordinary experience of existence. And though she does not know it, in a sense, Rebekah is the first to receive this blessing. Her offspring will literally be those of Isaac. And she begins to recognize that an enigmatic angst has gestated alongside her twins. And she stumbles over her words, trying to articulate her thoughts as quickly as they race through her mind, only managing to utter aloud in fragmented speech language indicative of the state that she is in, the state of her home. In broken Hebrew, she asks, Im kain, lama ze anochi, literally, if so, why this am I? And God does answer her with a subtle pragmatism, one that intimates a commitment to something much greater than herself, all while impressing upon her the command of her influence. There will be many who walk this earth after she does, who will navigate their way through the canyons that are her footsteps, as if to say, yes, you will make it so. Yes, you will help to bring about this future. This is the story of a family flawed and far from perfect, but we are blessed with the privilege to learn from them, to know their mistakes that we might not make them ourselves, and to know their virtues that we might be able to emulate them. As Jews, this is our story. And this year, it's the story we read right after Thanksgiving, right after many of us have gathered with our own families, some of whom we may feel a little more separated from than usual. We know that with them there will be reconciliation, but right now, it might be harder to imagine that future. So right now, in our own moment, may we merit the promise that God made to Isaac, marveling, like Rebekah, at the extraordinary experience of existence, knowing or trusting all the while that what is a blessing. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom and Yishar Koach, Micah. This Im Kain Lama Zanochi, these words that Rebecca yells out or kind of flustered, mumbles out. This is the first time in the entire Tanakh, in the entire Hebrew Bible, that a human being begins a conversation with God. There are plenty of moments in which God calls out, Avraham, Avraham, Hineni, and someone answers, here I am. But these words of Rivka, in this moment of tumult, in this moment of challenge, in this moment of needing true healing, this is the first time that a human being calls out to God. If you're thinking of someone at this moment who is in need of healing of mind, body, or spirit, call out to God. I'll invite you to share their names with our community as my eyes meet yours. Our congregation, this is one way to call out to God too. Our congregation is thinking collectively, praying for healing for Zev Yaakov ben Bracha Slava, Binyamin ben Reuven, Jeffrey Milman, Binyamin ben Mary, Chaika Hana bat Sora Fagel, Sura Tehila bat Sipke, Victor and Susan Shedlin, Ruth Vickers, Naomi bat Esther, Mindy Field, James Broth, Elizabeth Dankner, Gloria Byron, Maurice Miller, Alan Isserlis, David Bookdahl, Chava bat Sarah, Eliyahu Chaim ben Fradel, Emerson Lorenzoni, Jake Cohen, Zachary Snedeker, Tzvi Hirsch ben Yehuda, Barry Gitlin, Beth Dworetsky, Judy Balsam, Ilana bat Shmuel, Deborah Kapnick, Sheila Freed, Jenny Kaufman, Ronald Keeves, Peggy Saul, and Gadi Alon ben Pesia. The words for our healing prayer may be found on 371, and I'll invite you to call out.
Mi shebeirach avuteinu mekor haberacha leimoteinu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebeirach imoteinu, mekor haberacha avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing, with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Refuah Shlema, may all of those names mentioned and everyone who does not have someone to name them, may they all receive a speedy and full healing. We now ask you to rise. We're on page 586 for the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
At this time, we bring to mind those who are no longer with us. Perhaps this is the ultimate acceptance, accepting that someone we love, someone we knew, someone we cared for, or who cared for us, is no longer in this world, although still lives within our hearts. I'll invite you to rise in the following order, as is the custom here at WRT. If you lost someone in the last 7 days, Shiv'ah, I'll invite you to rise. If you lost someone in the last 30 days, Shloshim, I'll invite you to rise. If a loved one passed in the last year, Shana, I'll invite you to rise. If you are here commemorating a yard site, someone who passed around this time in years past, please rise. And finally, we see our mourners among us, standing, and as if to embrace them, we as a community all rise to hold them. In recent days, our community has lost Donald Handelman, father of Rick Handelman, Stephen Maybaum, father of Richard Maybaum, and Walter Grassheim, father of Andy Grassheim. We remember those who have passed around this time in past years: Kurt Adler, Isabel Allen, William Altman, Marilyn Balaban, Aline Fink, Doris C. Friedman, Frida Friedman, Ann Gold, Saul Gold, Ray Gorobetz, Marilyn Greenberg, Michael Haynes, Irving Landau, Judith Harold, Jerome Kessler, Leopold Koenig, Moshe Usher, Anshil Reinitz, Charles Levy, Michael H. Ludwig, Peter S. Malinverni, Henry Margolis, Noel David Margolis, Helen Lustig Mark, Paula Malamed, Fanny Wilder, Stephen E. Messenger, Mark Miller, Catherine Myers, Bessie Rocklin, Mitzi Sands, Ben Schumann, Pearl Schwartz, Rita Scher, Anita Simon, Beth Simon, Sydney Sladen, Ben Smith, Jack Smith, Leonard Stern, Robert Tartell, Martin J. Wang, Helen Weissman, Evelyn Weisenthal, Peter Young, Warren Young, Hattie Uden, and Herman Zalaznik. If I inadvertently mispronounce the name of your loved one, or if you would like to add a name to our list of remembrance tonight, I'll invite you to do so. We'll continue with the hallowing words beginning our conversation with God of the Kaddish, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'galau v'zman kari v'imru, Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'l'olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru. Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, ve'imru. Amen.
Zichronam livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing, and may the way that we walk through our world be a blessing for their memories. You may be seated. We now welcome our esteemed president for some announcements.
Thank you, Rabbi. I think we're hot. I'd like to thank our greeters this evening, the Landaus, Eve and Jay. Thank you so much for greeting us. Hearty Mazel Tov to Michaela Goldoff and the Goldoff family on their mitzvah tomorrow evening. We completed our third WRT Delivers Thanksgiving, and it was an enormous success. We had almost 200 volunteers that cooked over 450 Thanksgiving meals for donation through Meals on Main Street, WJCS, White Plains Hospital and Family Clinic, and Open Arms Men's Shelter. Meals included cornbread, cranberry relish, green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, turkey, not my favorite, brownies, and dessert, all donated, cooked and prepared by our volunteers starting at the young age of 2 years old. We'd like to thank all of those who helped participate. We have Torah study tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in person in the Sifriya and via Zoom. Adult learning this Thursday, December 5th at 10 a.m. via Zoom. And at Kol Ami next Sunday, the 8th at 8:30 a.m. to 2:30, we have a blood drive, so please come if able. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Friends, we'll conclude this wonderful post-Thanksgiving day of prayer, or evening of prayer, I should say, with Ose Shalom and Salam.
My friends, would you rise as we give thanks for the sweetness and the sustenance of this community? We sing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzahavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher lisiyat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
L'chaim.
L'chaim. I'll invite you to touch someone close to you. Just like the challah, we are all stronger when braided together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Thanksgiving.
listen, next week it starts earlier, just so you know.
It starts early.
Yeah, I think. Yes, so be here earlier.